Hi guys, just said I'd record a quick tutorial on something I have an issue with a lot when I'm playing around with skies and sky replacements in Photoshop. So one of the things you might notice is when you're trying to replace a sky, there's along kind of jagged edges and places that have a lot of fine detail. It's hard to get a very clean blend. So you can use a quick selection tool and then refine edge and stuff just to make your selection pretty exact. But sometimes I still find that I have issues with it. So at the moment, if I unclick this layer, you have these small little kind of discrepancies in the blending where it's not been very clean just along some of the edges here, and when you print it, which I probably will with this image, you definitely would notice. So if I check the layer, this is one method that I've used to get rid of it. So you can see this seems to have completely eliminated it, and it's actually an adaptation on a method that Jimmy McIntyre uses to get rid of chromatic aberration. So to do this, you just create a new layer, stamp visible layer, which is Control Alt Shift E, and then go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and then if you add about 4 pixels ish, is normally okay. I'm using a 24 megapixel camera, so you might have to readjust for what camera you have. Then you go to blend mode and darken. Now obviously this is going to just darken all of the image and make it a little bit blurrier and darker, which is not what we want. So if we put on a layer mask, you can see obviously it's not going to affect it. I just hit Alt and new layer mask to make a black one, then I hit B for my brush tool. I go in here and I'm just going to brush in along the edges. So just very gently, just in along the edges, and what you can see that it does is it darkens it and blurs it out a little bit, just taking some of the harshness out of that edge. So if I show you before and after, so you don't want to do it too far, like brush down in here or anything like that, because you're going to start losing some detail, but it does affect the edges quite nicely and gets rid of all those little halos. So just a quick tip I thought I'd share with you, just makes some blends a little bit easier.